revealing the hidden. Hope you all are safe and sound. And today we are going to discuss another topic. Mistakes are something we always do. From a baby become a child till our deathbed, we all do mistakes. As people says that the elderly people are wise, that is just because they have more chances of frequency of doing mistakes and know how to be corrected. That's why always the elders say you need to listen what the elderly people speak, because they speak the words of wisdom. But these people tend to correct us like anything, whereas youngsters really don't like the elders because they always pinpoint and it become a matter of embarrassment. So today's topic is correcting others, and today we have Nelson Abraham with us to discuss the same. Welcome Nelson for this shoot. And today we are going to discuss about the topic correcting others, because we never learn this kind of etiquettes in schools, or our parents never tells us how to correct others or how you should be ready to get corrected. So what do you think, what are the different scenes we meet people who give corrections?
Could you elaborate on meeting people?
Means from childhood onwards people try to correct us.
Correct.
So what are the different scenarios we can expect people who correct us?
So, see, from childhood we're always being corrected,
Yes.
like you said. And I see, whether you're at home, whether you're at workplace, whether you're at with your spouse, whether you're with your friends, there's always instances where you are being corrected or where you yourself are trying to correct somebody else. So at home, your parents are always bringing you up by correcting you, doing things. Among our friends also, when we are close to our friends, we do tend to correct them.
Right.
When they make a mistake or when there's something that we've done wrong, they tend to correct us. So. Those are the kind of instances, situations I feel when people do tend to correct, and that's how it is.
Yeah, so as you said that the correction starts actually right from our childhood, whereas our parents are the so-called authority to correct us all the time. So in short, we can speak that those who are in authority can correct us. So at home, parents are in authority. In schools, teachers are in authority. At workplace, our boss is in authority. Maybe in a relationship or in marriage, man can be in authority or the opposite gender person. So wherever you go, we can see correction happens whenever authority is there. But what I want to say that there are some people always try to correct others. At home, parents think that they should correct them all the time. There is an age actually to correct, but parents never think like that. But there are good parents. After a point, when they understand the children are mature enough to take decision, they leave them. But there are so many other parents, till death, they will keep on correcting without thinking the consequence of children. So this is where we can see the correction. Then the schools, we can see that the teachers always correct. It is not that he is right or wrong. The mental picture is, I am right as a teacher and I want you to be like me. This is the main emphasis of correction. Wherever you go, you can see. Then as you said, the workplace, the correction mainly causes us embarrassment, especially when the love is not connected with authority, whatever we speak about authority. And the relationship also, the person who's dominant is correcting. So it's how the recipient takes us. Is it in a better way or the other way? And the change is seen, we need to check. So these are some of the scenarios where we can see
I
correction.
agree. What you said is very relevant. A lot of times, people in authority who, when they tend to correct, have this dominating attitude, or something that they could probably say something to insult you.
Right.
Like, I need, a sort of like, I need to put this person in his or her place. And the way I'm going to correct him or her is by probably insulting them in such a way that they know where their place is.
Right.
So that's not the right way to go about correcting someone. First of all, if you do something like that, the person who is at the receiving end could, suffer from low self-esteem, especially when you tend to scream at them, in front of others. If there's, like, say, for instance, at a workplace, your colleague who's junior to you has not sent an email out on time, or say there's been a delay in sending your project out on time, and your boss or your team leader comes up to you and I wouldn't say it's correcting, but for them, it's because they are at a position of dominance.
Right.
They want to show their authoritarian figure, and they think correcting others is probably by screaming at them or probably shouting, when people are looking, so that they make a point and the others who are looking also, are made to feel like an example that you shouldn't question the authority.
Right.
So that's not the right way to go about it. Even at home, your parents screaming at you for making a mistake. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody is perfect.
Right.
And even your friends, among your friend circle, you don't insult your friends in front of others because they made a mistake or because they did something to wrong you. The best way to go about it would be, I would say, at your workplace or at your home or among your friend circle, would be to, take them to a private place, to a little corner where nobody else is there, and speak to them, tell them, hey, this is what you did wrong. A better way would be to go about by doing this. I don't appreciate you doing this, but the next time I know it's fine. Everybody makes mistakes, and the next time let's look at working things out properly. So that would be a better way to go about it, and rather than screaming and shouting at each other and creating animosity, which isn't right. And then that environment also becomes venomous, because of this, and it affects everyone on a personal level, and we need to take care about that. So that is the point that I need to say. There is a way of correcting people that is with love, with compassion. We need to understand that we ourselves who are correcting others are not perfect. There are imperfections in all of us, and we need to empathize with the other person. What caused them to make the mistake? Why did it happen in the first place? Let's put ourselves in their shoes and think about how it would be if you were at the receiving end. How would you like the other person to treat you? Would you like them screaming and shouting at you in front of hundreds of people? Or, let's go to a corner, a small little place where there's nobody else, and let's talk things out. Let's clear it out, rather than, making a scene in front of others and then ruining the environment for everybody else as well, because that kind of tends to rub on everybody else as well, and then they think, oh, this person made a mistake, and probably they are like that, and it's just, you start creating that environment of distrust, environment of, like, oh, maybe they are like that, that. So you need to take care of all these things, while you correct somebody else.
Yes.
So the right way approach would be to take the person into a corner and tell them, this is what I don't appreciate. If there is something you've done a mistake, I'm telling this to you because I want you to grow as a person. It's not because I hate you or something like that, but I saw something that you did today and I don't appreciate that. So let's try and improve on that. So that's one way of going about things. Yeah.
So nicely said. So Nelson, you really put much points, the different scenarios, and also you put the how to manage this kind of corrections. So today we have seen what are the different scenarios of our life, since we all do mistakes, tend to do mistakes, because no one is perfect. As you said, we always keep on doing mistakes and people keep on correcting us. But correction should be gentle and correction should be delicate, because the tone of my voice or the words I use literally hurt the other person, and it defines who am I. It's not who is the other person. So let's discuss this topic little detail, that is different scenarios, how we can correct in a better way, so that we can train the younger generation to have better manners or etiquettes to deal in a social life. So since we are winding up this topic here, we are coming next week with the remedies on how we can correct others when we grow in the society. Till we meet next time, stay happy and stay safe. Thank you.